Thanks for joining Living on the Cheap and trying to figure out. Don't know if you're interested, and I really hope you are, but today we're going to make deodorant. Yep, I said it. Homemade deodorant. One of my really favorite deodorants is Dom's deodorant. If you're interested in buying it, I will link it down below. And I have done a video on this before, but I never actually showed how to make it. So this time I'm actually going to show how to make it. I actually keep these jars because I really like them. They're glass. And I wash them out. Or I don't even wash them out apparently. I don't know if you can see that. There's a few little tiny drips on that one. The current one I'm using is almost out. So I thought before I run out, I better start making some now. So there's just a little bit there. That'll probably last me a week. But I thought, you know what? I have time. I'm going to make it now. So let's get started. So what I've got is, I hope this shows up well, 1/4 cup of baking soda, 1/4 cup of cornstarch. You could also use arrowroot if you have it. I don't, but we always have cornstarch. And 6 tablespoons of coconut oil. Mine's all liquid because it's summertime and it's really hot in my house. Take whatever essential oils you like. I have grapefruit because I like, oops, sorry, where's the camera? Grapefruit because I really enjoy it. And I also have lemongrass because I quite kind of like the combination. So that's just a preference thing. That really has nothing to do with anything. So when we start, we're going to take our baking soda and add our cornstarch together. And I'm just going to grab my spatula and make sure I get that all out, or at least as much as I can. There we go. And I'm going to start mixing that with a fork just to make sure it's all well blended. Just takes a couple minutes, seconds. What am I talking about? Really, it's seconds. Then what I'm going to do is add my olive oil. No, not olive. Coconut. Do not use olive. It won't work. Coconut, because it will solidify. So I pour it in, and I should probably go with a spatula just to make sure I got every last bit out that I possibly can. Now, as much as I love Dom's deodorant, and I really do, Dom's deodorant is what got me onto natural deodorants. If it wasn't for Dom's, I'd probably still be using antiperspirant and clogging up my pores and dirtying all my shirts. And yes, when you switch to all natural, you find you don't have armpit stains any longer. I also find I don't sweat as much as I used to. Just things are different. So you kind of mix it real good. Try to get all the chunks out that you can. And it smells like deodorant already. Then I'm going to add in some essential oils. I will post down the recipe, or not post it, but I will write down the recipe down in the description. But the essential oils from the recipe that I got was from a David Suzuki website, and it doesn't tell you how much. So I kind of go by feel. So I'm going to add 5 of each. 3, 4, 5. I think that was 5. Might have come out faster than I saw. 5 of this one. Okay, 5 of that one. And mix it up really good. Make sure I got that. I didn't leave any of it on the top of the fork because that would really suck for my purpose here. Oh, if I had smell-o-vision. Anyways, that smells just wonderful to me. And I'm done. Now, typically, if you're going to make this in the winter, melt your coconut oil so that it does get liquidy consistency like this. And all we're going to do, I'm just going to switch here, so try not to do this very messily, and I can't promise it won't be a mess. And then we're going to just pour it into our containers. Now I recommend glass containers because it does turn into a liquid in high heat. Actually, it's not very high heat, low heat. And because of that, glass is better. They seem to seal better than plastic because plastic will grow and stretch more than glass does. But that's my own preference. Now when you put it on, when it's liquidy like this, you just kind of dip your finger and rub it in the area you need it. But when it's a solid, you kind of got to scratch it off. And when you do that, I find that it doesn't really rub on your body well unless your body is wet, like right after a shower or something. If that's the case, just add a touch of water to your fingers. Just wet your fingers. I'm not saying have a puddle of water, because only your fingertips are what's touching the thing here. Now, if you're also thinking, oh, but I'm putting my finger in there all the time, like, gross, it's going to be dirty and contaminated. Actually, because of the baking soda has antibacterial benefits to it that you don't have to worry about it at all. That's why cleaning your house with baking soda is really good. And that's what I use. So if you want to see how it looks on my fingers, pretty much that's it. And when you rub it on my skin, and I'll have a little bit like that, and I'll rub it in, you don't see it. Well, you can barely see it here. There you go. So yeah, that's what I'm stuck with afterwards, my finished product. So that made me almost a little more than half, not quite 2 jars. But that will work. And one of these jars usually lasts me about 6 months. So it probably was over a year ago when I talked about this last, but I didn't actually do a video on how to make it. Can you see me? Ha! Sorry. Probably a little too much shakiness there, and I apologize about that. But now you know how to make your own deodorant. It costs pennies, especially if you go to Bulk Barn or someplace like that, or if you can get your ingredients on sale. The most expensive part is the essential oils. If you already have some essential oils, use your own mixture. Use what you like. That smells great. If you don't, then maybe just buy 1 jar and use that. But these do smell just, oh, they smell so good. And yep. And the reason I keep them in the same label is just so that my family knows what's in it. Because I find when I don't label it, they won't touch it, they won't know what it is, or they'll touch it, scoop it, and play with it. It's just like, get out of my stuff. So enjoy the recipe. Hope you'll make some too. If you have any money-saving tips on something that you can make instead of purchasing, let me know down below. I would love to try it out myself. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.